When allies turn against each other in the heat of war, you know the situation has reached a dangerous new level. And that's exactly what happened when Israel launched an unprecedented airstrike deep into Qatar, sparking outrage even from its closest supporter, the United States. The explosive incident unfolded on Tuesday, when Israeli military forces conducted their very first targeted strike within Doha, Qatar's bustling capital city. This wasn't just any ordinary military operation. It represented a dramatic escalation that sent shockwaves through the international diplomatic community. But here's where it gets controversial. Israel chose to attack inside a nation that has been working tirelessly as a peace mediator to end the very conflict Israel is fighting. Israeli military officials confirmed they were specifically hunting down senior Hamas leadership figures, whom they claim bear direct responsibility for orchestrating the devastating October 7, 2023, assault on Israeli territory. According to their intelligence, these same individuals have been continuously coordinating and directing military operations against Israel ever since that fateful day. The timing couldn't have been more politically charged. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, working alongside Defense Minister Israel Katz, had already given the green light for potential strikes against Hamas leadership following a horrific shooting incident just one day earlier. On Monday, 2 Palestinian gunmen had opened fire at a Jerusalem bus stop, tragically killing 6 innocent Israelis in what Hamas later proudly claimed as their operation. But here's what most people don't realize about the human cost. While Hamas officials insisted that no senior leaders perished in the Doha strike, a Hamas representative speaking anonymously to NPR painted a much grimmer picture. The source confirmed that 5 people lost their lives, including someone particularly significant, the son of Khalil al-Hayya, who happens to be Hamas's chief negotiator. The casualty list also included an office manager and several other staff members. Additionally, Qatar's Interior Ministry reported that one of their own internal security force members was killed in the operation. And this is the part most people miss. Qatar isn't just any random Middle Eastern country. It's been serving as the primary host for peace negotiations aimed at ending this exact conflict. The nation has invested enormous diplomatic capital in bringing both sides to the negotiating table, making Israel's decision to conduct military operations on Qatari soil particularly inflammatory. Qatar's government wasted no time expressing their fury. Their foreign ministry released a scathing statement that pulled no punches. The state of Qatar strongly condemns the cowardly Israeli attack that targeted residential buildings housing several members of the political bureau of Hamas in the Qatari capital, Doha. This criminal assault constitutes a blatant violation of all international laws and norms, and poses a serious threat to the security and safety of Qataris and residents in Qatar. They went even further, declaring that Qatar will not tolerate this reckless and irresponsible Israeli behavior, which continuously undermines the region's security. But here's where it gets really interesting. Even the United States, Israel's most steadfast ally, couldn't bring themselves to support this move. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt delivered a surprisingly sharp rebuke during Tuesday's press briefing, stating that conducting a unilateral strike inside a sovereign nation and close U.S. ally does not advance Israel or America's goals. What makes this even more intriguing is that the U.S. military, which operates a massive regional base in Qatar, received advance notice of the strike just moments before it commenced. President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, was tasked with the uncomfortable job of informing Qatari officials about the incoming attack. Leavitt's statement revealed the administration's genuine discomfort with the situation. The president views Qatar as a strong ally and friend of the United States and feels very badly about the location of this attack. This diplomatic language barely concealed the frustration brewing beneath the surface. The international backlash came swift and severe. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres didn't mince words, condemning what he called this flagrant violation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Qatar. During a press conference focusing on global military spending, Guterres specifically highlighted Qatar's constructive role, noting that the country has been playing a very positive role to achieve a ceasefire and the release of all hostages. He emphasized that all parties must work towards achieving a permanent ceasefire, not destroying it. The condemnation didn't stop there. Major European powers, including France, the United Kingdom, and Spain, all voiced their disapproval. Even more telling was the response from Arab nations across the region. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Lebanon, and Jordan all joined the chorus of criticism, suggesting that Israel may have seriously miscalculated the diplomatic fallout from their actions. The timing of this strike carries additional significance when you consider the broader regional security picture. Just 2.5 months earlier, Qatar's Al Udeid Air Base, the same facility that houses the U.S. military Central Command, came under attack from Iranian forces. That assault was Iran's way of retaliating against American bombing campaigns targeting Iranian nuclear facilities, demonstrating just how volatile the security situation in Qatar has become. What makes this entire situation so fascinating and potentially dangerous is how it highlights the complex web of relationships and competing interests in Middle Eastern geopolitics. Israel found itself in the unprecedented position of attacking the territory of a nation that This raises some uncomfortable questions that deserve serious consideration. Was Israel's decision to strike in Qatar a strategic necessity or a diplomatic disaster? Can a country effectively serve as a peace mediator while simultaneously harboring the leadership of one of the warring parties? And perhaps most controversially, does Israel's right to pursue those responsible for attacks on its citizens extend to conducting military operations on the sovereign territory of neutral nations? The answers to these questions could fundamentally reshape how we understand the boundaries of modern warfare and international diplomacy. What do you think? Did Israel cross a line that shouldn't be crossed? Or were they justified in pursuing their enemies wherever they might hide? Should Qatar have done more to prevent Hamas leaders from operating on their soil? Or does their role as mediator require them to maintain contact with all parties? Share your thoughts on whether this strike was a necessary evil or a dangerous precedent that threatens the entire concept of diplomatic neutrality in conflict resolution.